if you're someone who loves to read, you love to dive yourself into the beautiful world of fantasy, this is a perfect place for you. And also if you're someone who does not like reading that much, but then you're looking for some good books to read, you're looking for some good book recommendations, I got you covered as well. I would be having perfect book recommendations for you, so you can most certainly go ahead and start off your reading habit. So without any further ado, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like this video, mention your favorite books in the comment section, and don't forget to share it with your book nerd friends. So with this said, let's start today's video here. Guys, in today's video, I'll be reviewing the highly anticipated book, The Forest of Enchantments by Chitra Banarjee Divakaruni. Now, if you read, you must have heard about the author. She is the spectacularly famous for the book called The Palace of Illusions. And like the Palace of Illusion talked about Mahabharata from Draupadi's perspective, The Forest of Enchantments talks about Ramayana, but from Sita's perspective. So the author has put Sita in the center, and Sita narrates the story in this version of Sita. And I liked this book as well, but I would want to talk about a lot of things in detail, and what are the points that were good in this book, what were the points that were not that good in this book, and how would I rate this book. So if I talk about this book, the book starts off really well. It starts off with Valmiki presenting the final version of Ramayana to Sita, and Sita reads that version of Ramayana, but then Sita gets angry with Valmiki and tells him that this is not my version, this is not my point of view, my perspective has not been shared in this version. And Valmiki asks Sita to write her own version then, and that is how this book starts, and Sita starts writing her own version of Ramayana, her own version of her story, which is of course matriarchal, but at the same time it talks about equality, it talks about female feelings, it talks about each and every minute detail which Ramayana fails to explain about the women-oriented side, I would say. So I think this the author has done a very brilliant job by presenting the matriarchal side of Ramayana, which is called Sita. Now this book, when this book starts, Sita decides to write her story with the color red, because she believes red is the color of menstruation, red is the color of marriage marks, which is the sindoor, and red is also the color of the flower of Ashoka trees where she sat for an year while Ravan abducted her. So I think that initial starting point of this particular story is amazing and brilliant, and the story starts off really well with this particular book. And then finally Sita starts to write her story, and she begins it from the very starting, wherein she was found by King Janak in Mithila, and how King Janak adopts her, and she is treated as the elder princess of Mithila. Now her bonding with Urmila, who is the sister of Sita, which is apparently the real daughter of King Janak, the bonding have been showed very eloquently, and they shared a very beautiful sisterhood, they shared a very beautiful camaraderie relationship, there was a very beautiful friendship amongst them, and that has been portrayed in a very vivid manner. How Urmila and Sita felt when for the first time they saw Ram and Lakshman, that sensation that they felt has been portrayed eloquently, and that is what I love about the author. These tiny things which make solemn very pretty have been portrayed eloquently. So you don't get to see all these things in a normal Ramayana or a normal Mahabharata. But when Chitra writes it, she writes it like it's Sita literally talking to you, and that is amazing. Not just the bonding of Urmila and Sita, there was one more thing which I loved, and that was the friendship between Sita and Shiva's bow. Now Shiva's bow is the same bow which Ram broke, and after breaking that particular bow he married Sita. So the friendship between that bow and Sita has also been portrayed very eloquently, and since I told you Sita is the narrator of this particular story, you get to hear it in a very literal sense. So you feel like Sita is literally talking to you and explaining and elaborating whatever she felt like. when it talks about Sita's childhood, Sita's adolescent, and after that, finally, when she marries Ram and goes to Ayodhya, and after going to Ayodhya, how she, Ram, and Lakshman are forced to go to the forest to live in forest for 14 years. After, when she was living in forest with Rama and Lakshman, the desires that she felt for Rama were not, sort of brought to her. The desires, the love that she expected from Ram was every time not achievable by her, because Rama did not, want to get involved into love at that point of time, and he had a lot of other things to do. He had a lot of other problems to solve, like demons and rakshasas in the forest. And the role of Lakshman has also been portrayed very beautifully, and how he always, steps with Ram no matter what happens. Now, Sita's angle over here takes a drastic turn, wherein she shows different shades of love. Love of Ram as a husband, love of Ram as a brother. Now, sometimes it is envious to Sita, but even after that, Sita lives with zeal and follows and fulfills all her responsibility. And in the entire this particular book, the voice of Sita is amazing, and you feel like Sita is talking to you. However, at some places, I felt that the voice of Sita was a little feeble, and the matriarchal side of Sita was a little feeble. So when I started reading this book, I had like a lot of expectations from the fire test or the Agni Pariksha scene, when finally Ram frees Sita from Ravana's abduction. But I was not quite happy, with that particular scene. So that was just low key for me, and I expected a lot more in that particular scene. So I did not quite like that Agni Pariksha scene. I expected a lot more matriarchy and a lot more strong voice of Sita in that particular scene. And apart from that, I think the shades of love explained by author is beautiful. Not just Sita, but role of Mandodari, role of Urmila, role of Surnakha. Each and everybody's role has been elaborated beautifully. And to be more precise, I should say the role of each and every woman in Ramayana has been eloquently elaborated in this book. So I think it's a must read for all the women out there, and not just women. I think all the men should also understand the perspective of Sita and how she felt while all that was happening. And whatever problems I had this with this book, whatever feeble voice of Sita I felt at some places in this book, I think each and everything got compensated in the end, and the ending scene will give you goosebumps. How Sita does the upbringing of her sons, Love and Kush, in the forest, and when finally Ram comes to know that Love and Kush are his sons, and and in this novel we get to know that you will get angry on Ram at one point when Ram leaves Sita again in the forest, and that scene will make you so much angry on Ram, and it made me angry on Ram. And I was questioning my mom as to, mom, why is this happening? Why did this happen? Why? And I think that's a very good thing, that the author's persuasion leads you to that extent. And the ending scene wherein, Ram comes to know that Love and Kush are his sons, and then he finally wants to accept Sita publicly. But again, he asks for a fire test to give in it public, and that that gave me goosebumps. I got angry, and after that, the way Sita reacted is beautiful, is violent, is fierce, and it shows that women can be calm, but women can also be violent. So I think that part has been shown beautifully. I just had one problem with this book, that I felt like Sita's voice was a little feeble at some points. Overall, it was a good book. I would give it a 3.5 star. And I tried not to compare this book with The Palace of Illusions, but that did not happen. I ended up comparing this book, and if you ask me personally, I think I love The Palace of Illusions more than The Forest of Enchantments. I would give it a 5 star. 5 on 5, I would give this book a 3.5 star. So if you feel like reading this book after this review, you can most certainly go ahead and read this book. It is a good book. Alright guys, so that was a wrap on today's video here, and I hope you liked my review and my take on this particular book. I did like this book, I read this book, and I would recommend this book to you as well. And if you want to buy this book, you can check the link in the description and you can buy that book from there. And also, if you have read this book, please tell me in the comment section as to how did you like it, or what did you like, or what did you not like, or if there's any book that you want me to read and review, or if there's any book that you want a recommendation of, just let me know in the comment section. And guys, I will be needing your support, your love to grow, and henceforth I would really appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. It would mean a lot to me, and it would mean the world to me, in fact, I would say. Apart from that, I also have a blog which is called didyoureadthat.com. You can check that out as well, and you can also check my Instagram page at didyoureadthat_, and I'm mentioning all these links in the description. And if there's any suggestion or anything that you want to convey to me, you can most certainly go ahead and mention that in the comment section, and I'll definitely try to inculcate all those things. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you all, and I am so glad because you people are supporting me so much. Thank you so very much. And that was a wrap for this video. And go ahead, enjoy your lives, read a lot, and keep reading. Till then, have a great day ahead, and bye-bye.